Good morning, students. This is Professor Eknath Ahire from the Department of Pharmaceutics, Divine College of Pharmacy, Satana. In last session, we discussed regarding different schedules and different schedules of the Act and Rules, Drug and Cosmetic 1940 and 1945. In that, we discussed few of schedules among the or all schedules. So today we will start with remaining schedules. Before that, we will discuss regarding the OTC drug. So Mashelkar committee was appointed over there, and that committee suggests some suggestions regarding the OTC drugs, means over the counter drugs. Let's see what what type of suggestions they were uh, given regarding these OTC drugs. So, Mashelkar Committee recommendations. The Committee on Drug Regulatory System, headed by the Chief Dr. Mashelkar, suggested to expand the scope of Schedule K to include OTC drugs. The ultimate objective is to enhance public access to commonly required medicines, but at the same time ensuring their quality of the delivery, because the quality of the delivery is, if not proper, then the drug will not reach to the each and every people for their therapeutic use. So OTC drugs are uh, OTC drug means OTC has no legal recognition in India because all the drugs are not included in the list of prescription only drugs, are considered to be non prescription drugs or OTC drugs. So OTC drug means drugs legally allowed to be sold over the counter by the pharmacist, that is without the prescription of a register, registered medical practitioner. The prescription only uh, uh, next is prescription. So what is meant by prescription? The prescription means the only uh, drugs that, are those medicines that are listed in Schedule H and X and Schedule G, that is known as prescription drugs. Next is Ayurvedic OTC medicines. OTC drugs are registered as Ayurvedic medicines containing natural herbal ingredients. Uh, Ayurvedic drugs are manufactured under a manufacturing license issued by the Ayurvedic State Licensing Authority. However, they do not require a drug sale license and can be sold freely by non-chemists also. The largest OTC brand in India are registered as Ayurvedic medicines because of their plant-based natural active ingredients. That's why most of the drugs comes under the Ayurvedic medicines, and therefore they they were sold under the uh, OTC medicines or the over-the-counter medicines. They don't have any requirement of prescriptions. The categories with OTC potential is there. It contains different vitamins and minerals, health tonics, cough suppressants like Vicks 44, which is very well known, gastrointestinal drugs like Gasox, which is also very well known, and analgesics, then dermatological preparations, and herbal or Ayurvedic medicines. These all type of medicines are comes under the OTC categories. Then next schedule is Schedule E and E1. These are omitted as per Government of India notification number GSR 462E dated 22/6/1982. Schedule E1, list of Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani poisons, for example snake poison, arsenic, mercury, CuSO4, dhatura, bhang, ganja, etc. These all narcotic related drugs or poison related drugs are comes under the schedule E, sorry, schedule E1. Next is schedule F and F1. Schedule F contains provisions applicable to blood banks or the requirements applicable to blood bank, requirement regarding licensing process of the blood bank. Next, F1, provisions applicable to other biological and special products such as vaccines, antigens, diagnostic agents, diagnostic antigens, tuberculin, etc., regarding their production, testing, storage, and packaging, etc. These all type of other biological products comes under the schedule F1. Next is schedule F2. This is related to standards for surgical dressings and bandage clothes. So all type of surgical dressing and surgical related products are comes under the schedule F2. Then next is schedule F3. It contains standards for umbilical tapes. So umbilical tapes are comes under the schedule F3. Next is schedule FF. So schedule FF is for standards for ophthalmic preparations. So you can remember this schedule FF by remembering your two eyes. Okay, one F for your first eyes, second is for your second eye. So you can remember this easily for your remembrance. Next is schedule G. It contains list of substances required to be taken only under supervision of registered medical practitioner. Medicines listed as Schedule G medicines carry on the label a caution. So, Schedule G medicines are contained with the caution, which is it is dangerous to take this preparation except under medical supervision. So, Schedule G drugs are you should to take all uh, under the supervision of medical practitioner only. Then conspicuously printed it over the your medicine or the your medicines box or the packaging material, and uh, it is in a very clear form written over there, uh, which means it should be highlighted to everyone before taking these drugs and surrounded by a line within which there should be no other words. It is necessary to make proper bill of sale to the pharmacist or the pharmacy shopkeeper. Records of the purchase and sale of this medicine must be maintained for a period of 2 years. So, pharmacists should maintain this record for 2 years. For example, year L asparginase, bleomycin, busulfan, chlorambucil, chlorothiazide, chloropropamide, doxorubicin, ethoxumide, metformin, insulin, all types of insulin is there, hydroxyurea, mercaptolurins, mercaptopurins, etc. So these all drugs are comes under the Schedule G drug or the Schedule G. Next schedule is Schedule H, which is related to the uh, or which is uh, included or the amended with second amendment of rules 2006. It contains prescription drugs which are required to be sold by retail only when a prescription by registered medical practitioner. Drugs comes under Schedule H should be labeled with the symbol RX and conspicuously displayed on the left top corner of the label. Drug specified in Schedule H and comes within Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985 label with the symbol NRX, which shall be read and conspicuously displayed on the left top corner of the label. So if RX or NRX may be there, so it this symbol will be clearly written over their left of corner of the packaging material or the box. For example, alprazolam, allopurinol, amikacin, atenolol, acyclovir, uh, the buspirone, uh, azathioprine, captopril, carbidopa, clindamycin, cimetidine, uh, ciprofloxacin, um, ciproxam, diclofenac, limepiride, uh, diazepam, etc. So these all drugs are comes under the Schedule H drug, which is you should take or prescribe it this drug as a registered symbol or should be taken under the supervision of the registered practitioner only, or it should be taken under the or given under the written prescription by the registered medical practitioner only. So next is for the monitoring use and misuse of antibiotics. So for this, the Schedule H is there. So Schedule H of the Drug and Cosmetic Act contains a list of 533 drugs, 536 drugs which are required to be dispensed on the prescriptions of a registered medical practitioner only. In order to have separate regulation to check unauthorized sale of antibiotics, a separate schedule as Schedule H1 was introduced under the Drug and Cosmetic Act, Fourth Amendment Rules 2013 to regulate sale of antibiotics exclusively. The under the Schedule H1, drug formulations should be labeled with symbol RX in red and conspicuously displayed on left corner of the label with the following words in box with red border. So the warning will be there. It may be it is dangerous to take this preparation except in accordance with the medical advice, not to be sold by retail without the prescription of the registered medical practitioner. Next one, these are the some drugs under the Schedule H are omitted, and these drugs are included in drugs under Schedule H1 or included in the Schedule H1. So let's see which drugs omitted from the Schedule H. So alprazolam, cefdinivir, uh, cefepime, clofaz, uh, clofazamine, codeine, diazepam, cefepirone, midazolam, tramadol, thiacetazone, zolpidem, ethambutol hydrochloride, meropenem, ethionamide, then nitrazepam, pentazocine, sparfloxacin, then chlor, uh, chlordi, uh, chlordiazepoxide. Okay, so these drugs are omitted from the Schedule H and included in the Schedule H1 with other drugs. So other drugs are, you can see in this table, like alprazolam, which is already in this, which was already in, which was in Schedule H, but included in H1. Then cepedenir, cepepime, uh, cepe, uh, cepixvine, then cefoperazone, imipenem hydrochloride, midazolam, gemifloxacin, cepepirom, then ceftriaxone, then diazepam, codeine, cycloserine, then ertapenem, uh, doripenem, then ethambutol, rifampicin, and tramadol. So these drugs are included in Schedule H1 with other drugs. Next is Schedule J. So Schedule J contains the list of diseases and ailments which a drug may not claim to prevent or cure. So Schedule J contains, you can't claim any type of uh, any type of your commitment in the sense of to prevent or treat the disease or disorder. So which is this? So let's see some of the some of the diseases and ailments under this schedule are AIDS, angina pectoris, appendicitis, then arteriosclerosis, then baldness. Baldness means removal of your hairs, or removal of total your hairs, or loss of your hairs. Then blindness, bronchial asthma, cancer, and benign tumor, cataract, change in color of the hair and growth of new hair, change of fetal sex by drugs. Almost 51 elements mentioned on Schedule J. So some of them are mentioned over here for example, or the for your understanding. Next schedule is Schedule M. Schedule M deals with the good manufacturing practices, abbreviated as GMP, and requirements of premises, plant, and equipment. Then its part 1 deals with GMP and factory premises, and its part 2 deals with plant and equipment requirements. So, Schedule M1, it contains, or it prescribes in detail a requirement of factory premises for the manufacture of homeopathic drugs. Next one, Schedule M2 prescribes requirement of factory premises manufacture of cosmetics. Next, Schedule M3 prescribes requirements of factory premises for manufacture of medical devices. Next one is Schedule T. So, Schedule T includes requirements of factory premises and hygiene conditions, or hygienic conditions for Ayurvedic and Unani drug manufacturing. Next one is Schedule N, which contains list of minimum equipment for efficient running of pharmacy. It comes under Schedule N. Next is Schedule O. It includes different standards for disinfectants fluid. So next is Schedule P, Life period of drug is comes under the Schedule P. Period in months unless otherwise specified between date of manufacture and date of expiry, which is labeled potency period of the drug should not exceed under the conditions of storage specified. This schedule includes antibiotics, vitamins, insulin preparation, normal human plasma, serotoxins, toxoids, other toxins, antitoxins, and other miscellaneous drugs. So here is some example for understanding. Schedule P life period of drugs. It contains three columns. In first column, they are given name of drug. Second column period in month. Third column contains uh, condition of storage. So if uh, ad- adramycin is there, it having the life period of 30 months and it should be stored in a cool place. Then ampicillin sodium is there, it having life period of 36 months and it should be stored in a cool place. Then carbenicillin sodium powder is there, it having uh, it having life period is 24 months and it should be stored at temperature not exceeding 5 degrees Celsius. So this is all about different schedules related to the Drug and Cosmetic Act and Rule 1940 and 1945. So remaining topic will be discussed in next session. Till, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.